I have these friends, Dan and Sheila. They're podcast hosts.
Welcome to Profiling Criminal Minds. I'm Dan.
And I'm Dr. Redmond.
And it's finally here. The year of Dexter.
Year of Dexter.
Welcome to 2026, everybody. 2025 was a write-off. Let's see how 2026 goes.
Maybe Dexter will be the worst thing that happens to us.
Yeah, and honestly, yeah, that if Dexter is the worst thing that happens to us, I think we had a pretty good year. I'm going to look at it that way, okay?
We will have a pretty good year because 2025 is
a write-off. Just a write-off.
Just a write-off. Period.
Complete write-off of a year. All right, so now let's dig into this. How did the year of Dexter happen? Excellent question. We have spent literally years joking about how Dexter is the worst show on television. And the thing is, we didn't rewatch Dexter. I think that's fair to say. Like, none of us, we never went back. We never watched any of the sequel series.
We never wanted to.
Why would you? Dexter is terrible. Like, why would you want to continue? Why would you want to watch more Dexter?
Yeah,
You'd have to be crazy.
We did finally figure out that I probably only watched to season 5 and didn't even watch it to the end.
Exactly. You know, like you didn't even watch all of Dexter, right? I watched all of Dexter, and I'm not proud of that fact, but I did it. You know?
Yes, well, that's your OCDC.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, like the one thing I'm OCD about is finishing television shows. I don't have any other compulsive tendencies, but man, if I start watching a TV show, I'm watching all of that TV show, which is terrible because, and this is a brief aside, I'm currently watching the show Billions. I finally got around to watching Billions. You know, I like Damian Lewis. Right? I like Damian Lewis. I like Paul Giamatti. And, you know, it's a show about loathsome people who have no good qualities. You know, like, I think that's the best way to describe it. It's a show about loathsome people with no good qualities. And then I am so baffled because do you know where I'm stuck on the show?
Where?
The last 2 episodes of the show. Literally, there are 2 more episodes of Billions that I just can't bring myself to watch because it's going to be about them defeating Michael Prince, who wants to be president. And it's like, the show has never articulated a reason why he shouldn't be president because the show is so ineptly written. It's so ineptly written that it's like they assume we'll just trust these people who, when they say Michael Prince is too dangerous to be president, I'm like, but these are all evil people who only make bad decisions. You have a whole show about these people being idiotic screw-ups who ruin their lives and the lives of everyone around them. And you expect me to now take voting advice from them? It is the craziest ending to a show ever. Because they against all odds, created a basically likable billionaire, and now the show wants me to think he's the villain. Like, how do you screw up your show that badly?
Well, I mean, how did they screw up Law-Abiding Citizen?
Oh, yeah, right at the end, right? Like, they didn't realize. Yeah. No, but you're right. It's actually a good comparison because it's people not realizing the show they're making. You know? Yeah. Not understanding what they're doing. Like, did you not know that Bobby was a villain? That Bobby has always been a villain? That he's a bad person and always has been? There's been no, like, point in the show where Bobby acts was a good person who should be emulated any way, shape, or form.
No, and that's the funny part about that. You know, it reminds me to some extent of Dirt.
Yeah.
You know, that really the most likable person is probably the schizophrenic photographer.
Yeah, who has just essentially, you know, been shanghaied into this line of work.
Yeah.
You
and
know?
You know, so, and it partly because of his schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting there going, but
when we
I
get
can't.
to the second season and we're supposed to like everybody, you're like, what is this show?
Yeah.
This is not the show I remember.
No. And these people, yeah. And so you can't do that about face in a show. And Bobby is a nasty piece of work. And has always been. Now, his performance was great, but I stopped watching after about season 3. I never got around. I always knew the rest of it was there, and it's so low on the priority of watching because I don't have that compulsion.
I know.
It's like where I've had that compulsion is with books.
Yeah, where you keep reading the series. I know. Even when the series gets bad.
Is that to some extent, well, even books, like I'd read books and then, and then it started that I picked up some books and they were just so bad that I went to the end to see if I was right.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
The last couple of chapters. Oh yeah, okay, that's how it ends.
Okay, so that's what's going to happen. All right, that's fine.
I was right. Okay, yeah.
Why not?
Like I'm going to read this.
And so what gets me with Billions is it's perfectly clear like that they're going to get to the end of this show and I'm going to be like, and they're going to defeat just a decent person. And again, it's a show that looks incredibly politically naive and absolutely toxic because we live in 2025, man. All of your characters,
this is what happened.
All of your characters were fighting to put Donald Trump in the White House. Like, do you want me to be on the side of the people who were fighting to put Donald Trump in the White House? Because if Michael Prince had won, that would mean he was in the White House instead of Donald Trump. And I got to say, probably a better outcome for the world, let alone America.
Yep. So
yeah, real bad show. And the reason I bring this up is because, as we said, I watched all of Dexter.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Dexter was
we
not
have to
a good
the original show.
Yeah, no, I'm getting to it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I watched all of Dexter, and it wasn't a good show. Like, there was no point that I recall watching Dexter and thinking, "Oh, that was interesting." I only remember, and I can't again. It's a mental disorder that I kept watching Dexter. It's not like I felt like I was in charge of it. But I will say this: they always had great guest stars. Always great guest stars on Dexter.
Yep.
Like, that's a big part of why we like the show. And B, I'm not going to lie. I got through season 2 and we're going to discuss season 2 soon enough. So I'm not going to get into it now, but season 3 starts and it's like, there was one character on the show I genuinely liked. There was one character on the show. I'm like, okay, I enjoy this character. I enjoy this actor. I enjoy this performance. I want to see what happens with this character. And that's Joey Quinn, the corrupt vice cop who comes and works with them after, what happens with Dokes. I'm not going to say anymore in case people are watching the show for the first time with us. Yes. But Joey Quinn joins the cast and I'm like, I kind of love this guy. And I know it's weird to watch the show Dexter to see what Joey Quinn is up to, but that is why I kept watching the show Dexter. And you can say, well, that was just your brain finding a coping mechanism to deal with the fact that your mental disorder makes you constitutionally incapable of not watching Dexter. And I'll cop to that. Absolutely. But and one of the things that I'm going to find interesting about this year of Dexter was Joey Quinn that great? And it's like, should we be ride or die for Joey Quinn? I'm interested.
Yeah, now you have me. You see that we can talk about this back and forth. See, and we did talk about Dexter those first 5 years.
Yeah.
Off and on.
Yeah. It's not like we talked about it
off and on. We would talk about it, but I was, we never thought about doing it from this perspective.
Exactly.
And therefore, those conversations, we should get into Dexter now.
We should get in. Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, and we're going to do what I would say about we're starting with Origins or an Original Sin is what it's called.
It's called Original. And this is my bad. I thought the show was called Dexter Origins, and I apologize.
Yeah,
so did I. Dexter Original Sin.
Sin.
Our plan is to watch starting now, and I mean it says it on the title of this episode, so it's not like you don't know. We're going to be watching 3 episodes a week of Dexter Original Sin, and then when that's I think there's 20 episodes, so it's not going to be even, but we'll do a Dexter Original Sin in review, and then we'll take a break, and we're going to something with Josh Stewart, and then we'll start with Dexter season 1, and that'll be 3 episodes a week, 1 month per show, basically, because 4 episodes per season. and we'll do breaks in between like normal, and then we're going to get to New Blood, and then finally we're going to get to Resurrection, the show that is currently airing as we record this and was the motivation for the year of Dexter. So we are going to be a year behind Dexter fans.
Yeah,
and by the way, the real challenge is going to be having no spoilers for Dexter Resurrection for a year. I'm gonna try. You know,
I know
Peter Dinklage is in it. That's all I know, though.
But I don't want to. I just don't want to do that.
Exactly.
I don't want any spoilers from New Blood. I don't want spoilers from Resurrection.
Okay.
I don't want, because surprisingly, I'm like, first of all, the title Original Sin is a little, iffy. Yeah. But we'll discuss that when we get to the end of the season.
Absolutely.
Whether that was the correct term, because it brings up all of the religious connotations that I don't like. It brings up the predestination problem.
Predestination, the idea that
genetics. Yeah.
Well, not only
that's
that,
what the
but
title
that he
does.
and Brian are Cain and Abel, which is definitely something that they want you to think.
Okay, but
that's stuff we're going to talk about.
Okay, here's what's happening, is that I watched these first 3 episodes. We watched 2. And
because I wanted to know whether we should do 2 or 3 a week, because I'd never seen the show. So I had I only watched the pilot. I had you watch 2 and say, do you think there's enough here to talk about it? And if not, we'll do 3 a week for this show.
Yeah.
And I think 3 was the right. I think you were right.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because I think they are attempting, we had a major issue with Dexter. This one I remember us discussing.
Yeah.
And the problem of with him and his father. Like, I like Christian Slater playing his father. But what happens in the original show, the original Dexter.
Yeah. With all the flashbacks to Harry and all of the ghost appearances by Harry.
Yeah. It was very problematic, this idea that somehow or another that he was born this way.
Yeah, and so that's something we're going to discuss as it goes, because the theory that we had, that we often discussed on Dexter, and this is what we're going to be challenging ourselves with, and I think this is the important thing for us to challenge ourselves with, is when we were watching the original Dexter, our take was that essentially Harry is the show's villain. Harry didn't mean to be the show's villain, but Harry is the show's villain.
Yeah,
because we all know who Harry is. We're watching Dexter. Harry is the show's villain because instead of getting Dexter therapy, he turned him into a weapon.
Yeah.
And that is that is the secret premise of the show that not even like the people making the show really understand. But that theory, we're going to test how consistent it is. Because there's some of that right here at the start.
Right here at the start. But I also said to you that I think that they are trying to give us the alternate, like, that may still be the case for Harry with the decisions he's making. But what they're trying to show us is that there was a reason he turned out this way. And we were correct to say that Harry's choice should have been to take Dexter into serious therapy.
Yeah.
I think that's what's after the first 3 episodes, because it didn't quite get there. So I'm hoping in season 4, we're going to know the horror that was Dexter's childhood because we all know he was adopted by Harry.
Yeah. Obviously.
And now we find out in this show that he was adopted because they had lost a son. And she couldn't get pregnant again. I
think Harry Jr. got mentioned on the original show. I feel like he got we're going to check. I feel like Harry Jr. got mentioned on the original show, but I could be wrong. I wasn't surprised by that scene, but maybe
we don't have to. We don't have to check it. When we come to it, we'll talk about it. But
exactly.
I found the first 3 episodes.
Okay, I'm going to say something bold.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I was surprised that I didn't hate the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
I had a better time than I thought I was going to during these first 3 episodes.
Well, it seems to be tighter. The writing seems to be tighter, 100%. And it knows. I think it knows what it's doing.
Yeah, and I think here's my biggest issue with Dexter. Always was. Dexter is the smuggest person to have ever lived.
Yeah.
He is such a smug, elitist, thinks he's better than everyone, just scumbag.
Yeah.
He is the most unsympathetic character. And the thing is, that's probably one of the major reasons you stop watching. And it's watching young Dexter, it's like, oh, he's not smug yet. I'm enjoying a Dexter who isn't smug yet.
Yeah. And you start off with him being in pre-med.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing the voiceovers quite well.
Oh yeah. Man, Michael C. Hall's doing a great job. Or
his internal thinking.
No, it's not. It's canonically not his internal monologue. It's Michael C. Hall commenting on his memories. Because this is his life flashing before his eyes while he's in hospital.
Yeah.
He's commenting on his memories.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, it's not written so carefully that a few times it doesn't just feel like, a regular Dexter comment in the moment. But canonically, it's supposed to be Dexter in a hospital bed remembering all of this. Why that allows them to cut away to other characters, I don't know.
Well, we're not going to worry about that.
To show us a whole bunch of stuff that 100% Dexter does not know about. He 100% has no idea about his dad's relationship with his adoptive father's relationship with his mother. Like, that's all stuff he just didn't know about.
No,
I don't know if Deb kind of found out about it, but I don't think she ever told Dexter. Again, that's something we'll check later.
We'll check, but Dexter does not know. And that was why I wanted to go to 3, right? Yeah. Because
you want to see if we're getting how long it's going to take him to adopt Dexter.
Yeah, and you meet Dexter as a baby.
Yep.
Right? When he's born, and his mother.
First scene of the flashback is Dexter being born.
Yeah, and his mother being very happy.
Oh yeah.
So everything is looking good, and so it's going to be interesting how they do this. But we also know that there is some horrible tragedy in Dexter's life, which makes me happy. You can already see what's going to come.
Well, the thing is, and this is the decision we have at the original show. Yeah, the end of the end of the flashbacks is she gets chopped up with a chainsaw and Dexter sees it happen. And the thing that you and I always had a problem with the show is the suggestion that the show seemed to be making that the show didn't understand how serial killers happened, and they thought that Dexter could have been turned into a monster by seeing his mother murdered, as was Brian. But you and I both know that's not how it happens, and the show was never able to acknowledge that, no, it was the neglect and abuse he had in his formative years that made him primed to become obsessed with murder after seeing the death of his mother.
Yeah.
Right?
And the thing is we meet the father.
Yeah. We assume this is the father. We don't know for sure. Yeah. It's her boyfriend.
Well, it's her, at that point, it's her partner.
Yeah, her partner. We don't know that that's Dexter and Brian's father.
Yeah. And so we understand.
Oh, yeah. He's been living in dirtbag circumstances.
Yeah, he's living in dirtbag circumstances, for God's sake. In fact, I thought the house was too nice that they lived in.
I actually found it here are these two scumbag, barely washed people, right? Selling drugs next to a VW van, right? And it's then they go to the house and it's that's a weirdly nice house.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Now, to be fair, we don't see a lot of the inside of the house, so maybe it's in pretty bad shape. But the outside of the house is weirdly clean. And you know what? Maybe,
and the living room looks pretty good,
too. Well, it's I think the idea is it's Dexter's born in 1971, and he's supposed to be 5. So this is 1976, I guess.
Maybe,
makes sense.
Yeah.
something like 1976. So let's just assume that the house is a rental, right? And B, it's 1976, so it's like you could rent a house for like $100 a month. Or something insane like that. So, they're living in a place that is nicer than their socioeconomic circumstances suggests they should be.
Yes, and so we're going to. The implication there is that he has been raised by two
parents,
because he does have a brother.
Yeah,
and he has been raised by two drug addicts.
Yes, both.
And we all know that is neglect.
Oh, yeah, it is neglect. It is casual abuse. It is leaving for days and forgetting you have children. Yeah, like Dexter would have trouble. And I mean, and that 100% explains Dexter's inability to emotionally connect with people.
Yeah,
it's literally that he didn't have people around.
He didn't make primary attachments.
Exactly. Like that whole thing of being touched and held and looked at and smiled to, none of that happened with Dexter, and so he can't attach to people. And that's normal. And it's just weird how this show, by making it extremely clear that all of his parental figures were scumbag drug addicts, it is, and I would have liked had there been obvious parental neglect. But instead, like, we get this picture just we don't know what we're going to get over the next. No, we don't. You're absolutely. But I'm going to say the thing I find least plausible is when she's like, I've got a babysitter for the kids when she wants to sleep with Harry, and I'm like, man, that just seems weird for you as a character to be like having an established babysitter for your kids.
Well, except that we don't know how much time has lapsed because we can't know.
That's true. It's not super
right.
clear.
How much time has lapsed, and she's been working up, building this profile and making all this money.
Yeah, she has turned her life around. Yeah,
she's turned her life around, and that may be that house is not the house they were in before she turned her life around.
That's possible. I mean,
okay. I mean,
definitely to be a possibility.
So what we're focusing on is after she met Harry and she becomes his CI.
Yeah.
And she starts, and he trains her how to go into the high end places and the kind of clothes she has to wear and what she has to do and what she has to say to start selling drugs at a high end level.
Yeah.
So you see her going into the dentist office and selling him the drugs.
Yeah,
and so she's got this.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's got lots more money
profile.
now.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. So
that house may not indicate how he was raised.
How they had been living up until that point. And as long as that's what they intended, I am fine with the house. It's just it felt weirdly discordant with, how these people were.
Yeah, well, I think that this is like we have to talk about this, and it's possible. You see that because this is Dexter's life flashing before his eyes.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to flash to the years before.
Yeah. The horrible, abusive, terrible years before, which is entirely possible. Yeah, Dexter always had, bad idea, bad rosy-eyed ideas about what his life must have been like before he got turned into a monster. So
he doesn't even know. Basically Dexter believed he was born a monster.
Well, that's an interesting thing.
That's the impression that you get from
that is a discussion that we're definitely going to be having over the course of this, right? Was he born? Well, because the thing is, there's a question of whether he was born a monster or whether he was turned into a monster by seeing his mother be brutally chopped apart with a chainsaw, right?
Well, that would have just been the turning point.
Oh,
right?
Exactly. So was he born? Well, no. But what I'm saying is, where you're right that the question of where did this rage come from is a huge part of it.
Yeah. And the thing is and the point is that because his mother was a drug addict, as we find out.
Yep.
And who's to say that she wasn't doing drugs when she was pregnant with Dexter?
Entirely possible as well.
So, so there's already that can be very problematic. We've discussed that with other issues and at other times, particularly when we were talking through Criminal Minds.
Yep.
Because they did so much stuff and they were all over the place over that issue. So we got lots of time to talk about it. And I think, here it's quite possible that she was already a drug addict.
Oh, yeah.
And she was still doing drugs when she was pregnant with Dexter.
With Brian and Dexter, yeah.
With Brian and Dexter. And consequently, as you say, you can't say they were born, but you can say that their brains were disorderly.
Affected by that.
Yeah, affected by that and disordered.
And then you add into that the neglect of having drug addict parents in the house, and you end up with a perfect situation for kids who just can't relate to other people and can't function. And I get that. Like it is consistent. But like I said, the thing that always bothered me at the start was the idea that there was a single thing that turned Dexter into a monster, and that single thing was seeing his mother get brutally murdered. And I never bought that. And you're right, going more into his mother as a character and showing that she was a drug addict and did not have the most stellar life or taste in men, may well go a long way towards establishing this.
Yeah, like it is.
We're going to be fascinated to watch the flashbacks.
Yeah, this is. And that's what I said to you. I think they may be trying to correct that to some extent. We don't know how much they'll be able to correct it.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. Well, it's going to be interesting to see why Harry makes the kinds of decisions he makes.
Oh yeah.
About. Because we saw all those flashbacks in the original Dexter.
Yep.
And they annoyed us no end. And now we're going to find out why he made kind of those decisions. And so I'm actually looking forward to watching this. It's well put together. I liked seeing Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yep.
As the head
of the department. Yeah.
Yeah. The
head of forensics the job Dexter will one day have.
Yep. And because he's in the police station, and you see him finally for the first time having friends, but still not knowing what to say or what to do. And making mistakes left, right, and center.
Let's start up the show. Right.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about the show, because this show, again, Dexter was born in 1971. So this is all set in 1991.
1980s.
Well, no, he's 20.
90s, early 90s.
91, because he's canonically 20, because they joke about how he's in university. Remember, he's graduating university early because he's a smart guy, but he's not even 21 yet, because Angel Angel drinks both the drinks because he finds out Dexter's not 21 yet. It's cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
he's pre-med.
He's pre-med, exactly, and he's going to become a doctor because he figures, if I'm cutting people open, this will be
if I become a surgeon.
If I become a surgeon, if I cut people open, it will be an outlet for this. Now, fun fact, there are a lot of psychopath surgeons. That's actually well observed by the show. It's a pretty normal thing, because it takes a certain kind of person to be able to take a knife and slice open a human body and not be bothered by it at all. And you can learn that, right?
Yes.
You can absolutely learn that through practice if you're dedicated enough. But if you start out not really caring that much about human life, it makes it ironically way easier to become a surgeon. Like, if human life just doesn't mean that much to you.
And as we notice, as we see surgeons in all these different shows that we have.
I know, right?
Generally speaking, they are horrid people.
Oh, generally, yeah.
They don't.
It's a well-observed thing by the show that I thought was kind of clever on the show's half. And it's like, it makes sense that Harry would try and steer him toward this. He's a clever kid, right? And cutting people open doesn't bother him at all. But he's also an addict, right? He's an addict to serial killing, and Harry refuses to get him therapy. So he's like, okay, well, we'll go and we'll make you, you'll become a forensic, right? A forensic scientist, and that will be the way you deal with these urges. The one thing I genuinely enjoyed, right, was seeing them recreate an episode of Dexter. Because when they had done the flashback to his first murder, I thought, I feel like Michael C. Hall's a little old to be playing 20 in this.
Yeah. But now we're seeing.
But now we're seeing the exact same scenes play out with young Dexter, and I'm like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. And I just, I mean, I got a nostalgia hit from watching them recreate an episode of Dexter in the pilot. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, and the pilot, and that does, and you have already set in place the rules.
Exactly, because that's all happened in the backstory.
And he's commenting on it. He said, "Yeah, and I broke a rule, and there was a consequence to it."
Oh,
he kept a souvenir, like most serial killers do.
Yep,
and
like Dexter, in fact, does. Dexter never stops taking souvenirs.
Yeah,
you know,
but
like,
he's
not good at this, by the way.
No.
You say he learns how to hide it better, but that's like bunches of people find his souvenirs over the run of the show. It's not like
that's true.
Like he's not.
Remember, I don't remember much about the original show.
That's fine. But it's like
I have wiped it from my brain for the most part, except for John Lithgow, you know?
Yeah. And which is part of what's going to make this so much fun to go and rewatch all of. Yeah. But yeah, like he's not good at being a serial killer. Like, he's not, like, for a guy who was supposed to have all these rules set up, he breaks them all the time, and it causes him nothing but problems.
Well, yes, I suspect
because he's a selfish, ego-driven man.
Yes, but that's all he can be.
Yeah.
Because when Harry dies, you know, then all hell is broken loose.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to look at it.
You know, I mean, that has to be what happens because Harry's there. Harry makes him get the earrings back, for example.
Yeah.
That whole thing was very funny.
It was very funny. The whole through line with the earrings and Deb stealing them and giving to her friend, and Deb, the friend, thinking Dexter has a crush on her. Like, I enjoyed that whole plot line.
Oh yeah, that was sort of fun.
Made me really
Dexter
happy.
Doesn't know what to do, but
yeah.
No, this is what you do. You get her those earrings, and the other ones she won't even care.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, they're just a minor, they're just something she picked up because she saw them in my hand and I wore them for it. But it's like, if it's a gift, she'll toss those, which, very well observed, Deb.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I say something about the actress playing Deb? I am very happy with her performance. And I'm going to say something, if this winds up being controversial when we rewatch Dexter, it's fine. But she has captured Jennifer Carpenter's, all of her mannerisms. They're like dead on. Like she is doing a better Jennifer Carpenter than the Dexter actor is doing a Michael C. Hall.
Yeah.
Like it is uncanny how good she is at being Deb. And here's the thing I'm going to get to. I think Deb was always like the most annoying character watching the show because she was so incredibly unprofessional and just terrible at her job. Like incredibly unprofessional, incredibly like unobservant, just the worst cop in the world. And the crazy part is, as I watch the show, I'm like, oh my God, every one of Deb's mannerisms and characteristics make perfect sense if Deb is 17 years old.
Yeah.
It's like she has completely recreated the character of Deb, but now Deb makes perfect sense because she's a child. And I'm like, oh my God, Deb was a child the whole time. And she was like the most.
Like, in other words, that for Deb, now here's where you would say, is the crisis point was when her mother died.
Yeah. And she
has never gotten over it.
Thank you. Yes, you've got there.
Yeah.
And therefore she's where I was going. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She never got over it. So she's sort of stalled.
Locked. Exactly. Yep. She is suffering from Arrested Development, and she is this age forever. She never stops being this same reckless, profane, jerk 17-year-old mean girl. Like she never stops doing it. It's fascinating.
Yep. I love the scene with the fake cocaine.
Oh my God, them making fake cocaine out of caffeine pills.
Jeez.
I mean, it'll amp you up. Caffeine pills will amp you up. He's not wrong. And if you've only had like weak cocaine that's like 95% baby food or like baby formula and 5% cocaine, I'm sure a bunch of caffeine pills aren't actually going to feel that different.
No, and he makes it well, and it was funny, and then he tastes it. No, not strong enough.
Not strong.
Get some more caffeine in there, caffeine pills in there, breaking them up, and then
I really enjoyed that. Yeah,
this is why I'm really looking forward to watching the rest of this, because these little vignettes are setting everything up.
Absolutely.
And they're doing a good job of it so far.
One thing that I found interesting about it is this is a show that 100%, like, it is not marketing itself to people who do not know who Dexter is. Like, this is the most fans only show I've maybe ever seen, because it has zero interest in appealing to people who are not already fully on board with Dexter.
Yeah. And
like, imagine being someone who's never heard of Dexter trying to watch this show, because you pointed it out, like, all of the rules of Harry stuff, they talk about it like they assume the audience already knows what they're talking about.
Yeah. This is, and it's because it's a flashback.
Oh, totally.
Right? I mean, his life flashing before his eyes. So, I'm watching, it's a chronological thing, but it is fascinating because they intersperse it with today.
Yeah.
And that's what, or not today, today, the early, it's flashback
we have
and
two
flashback.
sets of flashbacks within the show.
Yeah.
We have 1976, where Harry is running Dexter's mom as an informant, which is going to wind up getting her killed. And then we have 1991, where Dexter is taking his first steps to become the character that we loathe so thoroughly.
Yeah, and it's so funny because you can see I think his portrayal is a little bit, I would give it probably more marks than you do. Yeah. Because the very first few times I said, yeah, he's got some of that facial stuff. Yes, he doesn't exactly look like Michael C. Hall.
He doesn't have to look. I mean, the way that the Deb actress looks exactly like Jennifer Carpenter.
Yeah, well, they found, they found
the perfect person for this. Yeah.
But the actor playing Dexter, I mean, he's doing, but what you can see already, and this is the performance.
Yeah.
It has to be the performance. Now, I don't know whether it's the director or the actor who's doing well, that he grates at being low man on the totem pole, for example.
Yeah.
Already. And when he's cutting up the body, like at the beginning in his pre-med class. Yeah. And of course he gets kudos for it because he can do it it doesn't really bother him to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Whereas other people are kind of squeamish, whereas he isn't.
Exactly.
And so he gets an A+ for all of that. He's doing very well in his pre-med classes.
He would have made an excellent doctor. I think
and an excellent surgeon.
Yeah, he would have made an excellent surgeon had he decided to go that way. I think the show is very clear about that.
Yeah, and
it's only his addiction that keeps him from having this career.
Yeah, and what happens, right? But you can see him, right? He's low person on the totem pole, right?
Yeah.
And the Chinese guy is so funny.
Oh, Vince.
Oh, my Lord.
I loved original Vince. I like new Vince. I'm just happy with Vince generally.
Yeah.
Always been happy with Vince.
What an obnoxious SOB.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's
absolutely.
Okay, and so we're watching it, right? But I'm watching Dexter and I can see it's the body. There's some body language going on. There's a few other things going on.
Oh, yeah.
And he can't take, he has to be told that, first of all, you're being hazed.
Yeah.
And he has a hard time accepting that, but he also has a hard time being the dog boy.
Yep.
In the forensic lab.
Oh, yeah. Like doing the grunt work.
Yeah.
He is arrogant right from the start.
Like he's already, you can see it because he is smart and he has probably had a lot of positive reinforcement within the education system.
Yeah.
Once Harry took him, because it's going to be interesting to see how, the relationship between him and Harry going forward, like how this worked out and why Harry did what he did.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hypothesize ahead of time. We'll talk about
we're going to watch
that.
it as it comes. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll watch it as it comes, but it is quite interesting that you can see that. And this guy, I actually got used to him very, very quickly.
Oh, no problem at all.
No. And yes, okay, so it might not be perfect, but there was a certain smile, but also remember he's like 18, maybe 9 at the most,
he's 20. Again, he's canonically 20. They keep saying that, like he's graduated from university.
Okay, yes, he's graduated from university.
And he did it a little early. He's 20 years old.
And he's finished pre-med.
He's finished his pre-med. He has his degree that he immediately stopped caring about because he could get a job with the police.
Well, he only got the job because he ended up in the fair.
The job fair. He runs into Vince at the job fair. I thought that was very entertaining.
Yeah, Vince doesn't want to have anything to do with him.
No,
and you think that's
it's Vince. He's terrible.
Yeah, it's Vince. Yeah, and so when Dexter says, "Oh, but those are different killers." When he looks at a bunch of pictures, he thinks
they're the same killer. He thinks that 2 and 7 and 12 or something like that are the same.
Yeah,
killer.
Whatever he does, he picks out the correct ones, which Vince, for all of his idiocy, goes back and tells the boss,
Michelle Gellar, about, and it's
says, "Guess maybe we should get this guy in."
Yeah, fast. And that's like because he ignores Dexter, but later he's like, "Oh my God, wait, he said he was Harry Morgan's son, and Harry Morgan works like 3 desks away from me because of the utterly preposterous idea that the forensics department is a cubbyhole like 10 feet away from where the detectives work." A ridiculous conceit on the show that never made any sense. But you know what? We've accepted. But it's like, of course you know who Harry Morgan is. He works 20 feet from you.
Yeah. And so...
Okay.
I know. It's funny. Young Angel, by the way, Young Angel also does a good job. I think Young Angel did a very good job of being Angel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think
that they casted well.
Oh, absolutely.
And I am sure that all of these actors probably have seen the original Dexter.
Of course they have. No, they've studied all these characters. They know who they're playing. The La Huerta, dead on.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like I'm looking at this and going, I vaguely remember, right, these people from the original Dexter. Yeah. And I'm just going, I believe
this
all
is
of
them
the people.
15 years earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is it's interesting. I think that if I was the casting, okay, the first thing that you ask people, well, did you watch Dexter?
Yes. How comfortable are did you watch Dexter?
You like
What's
it?
Your familiarity? I think liking is probably important. Well, the thing is, the reason I say that I think
they made them watch it
the
again.
weak link in the because nobody's going to say that Christian Slater is doing a great job being James Remar because we never saw enough of the James Remar the actual Harry to have anything to compare it to. The only Harry we ever had was Dream Harry, who walked around and commented on his killing, right? That's the only Harry we really had access to. There are very limited flashbacks in the original show. There are some, but mostly the Harry we get is the Harry that exists inside Dexter's head. Yes. So it's not like Christian Slater had a lot to compare himself to. And I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing the guy for not being a great job of Dexter. The reason I say that he is the one who is least like the original, and this is going to sound terrible, but I apologize in advance, is that this Dexter is so much more likable than Michael C. Hall's Dexter.
Well,
okay, what I would argue, and we'll see as it develops, is that Dexter is still likable. That he is still awkward.
Yeah.
Right? And it's because we see all of those scenes with his sister and with his sister's friends.
Yeah.
And his sister saying, thank you for snorting a little bit of cocaine so our friends think you're cool. Yeah. Right? And of course, and we're all laughing because we all know it's just caffeine, so it's okay.
But it's still a nice thing, yeah.
But it was a nice thing
he's doing to get his friends in with his sister and with the popular girls at school. It was a very nice thing for him to do, and he was going out of his way to be good to Deb. and this is the thing, it's like, this is why I never bought the idea that Dexter was a pure sociopath, because he is damaged, but at the same time, he does like care about what happens to Deb, and he is mad at himself for missing her volleyball game, obviously, and he is trying to make it up to her. Yeah. It's not just a transactional thing to get the earrings back. He is trying to help her.
No, because this is his sister.
Yeah, that's my point.
And I would assume we're going to see
more of that back in the 70s.
Because, about when they first meet.
Because obviously when Harry brings Dexter home, his wife then gets pregnant again.
Well, and this is the weird part.
And that is a logical thing to happen, actually.
Oh, yeah, because the stress goes away. No, I totally understand that. Now, but here's the thing, and this is why I got confused. Because Dexter is, like, I guess the young Dexter. I just misunderstood the age. I think he's supposed to be 3, and Brian is supposed to be, like, 5.
Brian is the older one.
Yeah. I think Brian's supposed to be 5 and he's supposed to be 3. Because I said he was 5 earlier, but no, he's supposed to be, like, 3. And she's going to get killed, and he's going to bring this 3-year-old home to replace their 3-year-old who died. And you're right, she's going to get pregnant right away.
Yeah.
And because it's like, that kid, the child Dexter, is clearly not like 2. He's older, but then again, the thing is with child actors, it's getting really young child actors is always dangerous. So I think they could actually make the argument that he's supposed to be like 2.5.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. That he's supposed to be like 2.5.
Yeah, and he's he's not,
and Deb is supposed to be like 17. So I think they're supposed to be like
2.5 years apart.
Yeah, or 3. Like, because we don't know exactly where the birth is. There could be like a solid 3.5 years between them. Yeah. Maybe. I think they can get away with that. The whole subplot with the girlfriend, with Dexter's would-be girlfriend, it's something that bothered me around the original show. And I will talk about this, and I want to see how they handle it here. Because the thing that bothered me most about Dexter as a character in the original was that he always acted, and I mean, there's no way around this for the prequel because they're trying to do the same character, like he's a space alien who just landed on Earth, and he has no idea how to act in social situations. Like he's Martin Cove in that TV show where Martin Cove played a hard time on planet Earth, and he just doesn't understand anything.
Yeah, well, it's followed with the Alan Tudyk one.
Yeah, Resident Alien, same deal, right? Yeah. That is how he acts. And when I watch it, I'm like, Dexter, you can just, and I don't want to say that people don't have their own identity, but like 80% of people you walk around meet on the street are just cobbling together their behavior from stuff they've watched on television and movies, right? And the people around them. You can just watch some movies and observe from some people, and it's not hard to figure out how to act. But it's like, he always acted in the original show, at least for the first few seasons, like he'd never met a person. And the weird part is, I honestly think, and this is where Harry really did him a disservice.
Yes.
How much easier, setting aside the therapy thing, right?
Yeah.
Send him to some acting classes. If you had just had Dexter go and train as an actor as his main, source of extracurricular activities at school, he wouldn't have all these problems.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
Hey, people in the acting community are fine with weirdos, right? And B, you would learn how to pretend to be a person.
Well, no, that's what I always say, right? If you feel like you don't belong anywhere, go find a bunch of actors and actresses and hang out.
It is the perfect group of people, because why do you think they all ended up in acting? Because they didn't feel like they belonged anywhere. So they went to a place where they can try on a bunch of different personas. That's what acting's for.
And people who have very well-developed senses of self don't do very well
in
acting.
It's true.
They can just be themselves. And I would say this of Clint Eastwood, for example.
Yeah, great at being himself. And showing the range within Clint Eastwood, but it's not like you think, oh, well, there's a chameleon who disappears into his parts. It's Clint Eastwood. Yeah. It's always Clint Eastwood, and that's fine.
It's always, and you know it, and it's
Yeah.
It's great. He lucked out. It was great.
Oh yeah, that he found a venue for his skills.
Yes.
And the first murder, let's just quickly do the murders. The first murder is a fun scene. It is just a recreation of that flashback.
Yeah.
It's a recreation of the flashback, like perfectly. There's a nurse, she's poisoning people with potassium. Dexter clunks her over the head when she gets home, and then he stabs her to death. They do a little, I enjoyed the little joke that he like was not great at putting up all the plastic yet.
Yeah.
I thought that was a funny joke. He's like, what do you want? It's my first time. Like, okay, that's funny. You got me.
Yeah, you got me.
I thought that was nice. But then he kills her less dramatically than he would go on to making a ceremony around it in the future. Like in the future, there are going to become extra steps to his ceremony of death. But now he's just goes through her photo album of all the people that she's killed, and then, just stabs her. And the second murder by comparison is ludicrous.
Well, thank God we didn't see the whole thing.
Like, I'm sorry, he choked a guy out in his house, then he put him in a van or his truck or whatever and drove him across town and broke into a high court and taped him to the wall of a high court. And by the way, going everywhere. Surprising amount of going everywhere and touching things without gloves, just all the time. And then he stabs him in the middle of the Highlight Court. And then did he cut up the body in the Highlight Court as well? Or did he move it to a third location before doing that?
Before chopping off the head.
Before chopping off his limbs. Oh my God. It's so ridiculous.
Well, I think they had to give us, what was I thinking? There was another sort of joking moment in there too. Oh, the parrot. That's what I was going to talk about. I love the parrot.
Oh, the parrot was so funny.
And when he finally opens the
door to let the parrot free.
Parrot go. You're free.
I know. Oh, it was so nice. I really enjoyed that. Although I couldn't help but watch him doing all of this with bare hands. I'm like, you gotta know fingerprints exist, man. Come on.
Yeah.
What the hell? There's also a subplot where, and this is the thing that I think you're right, we're going to find out more about his childhood, and they could very well justify our feelings about Dexter quite effectively, because he is having a really personal reaction to the abducted child.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a judge's child has been abducted, and we don't know who by, and we don't know what they want, but they sent the kid's finger over, right? Like, the kid is being fed, the kid is not being obviously abused until his finger is stolen to threaten the judge
even more, and we don't know what about.
Exactly. We have no idea what this is all about. And obviously we're going to find out soon enough, but this is the big through line we've got for the first 3 episodes, is there's this missing kid, and it's the kid of a judge, and everyone's understandably really freaked out. They think it might be the drug cartels. And of course, the fact that this could be the drug cartels kidnapping kids has got Harry thinking about how he got Dexter.
Yes.
Because of course, that's what happened. Dexter got kidnapped along with his mother, and his mother got cut up with the chainsaw. It's triggering stuff for everybody. And man, if they can find a way to make Dexter relate this locked away kid to the neglect he must have suffered as a child, I will be very impressed with the show.
Yep.
If they're actually willing to go that far.
Because it looks as if they're taking steps towards that. So
to take it more seriously and not just say he was created by a single violent incident, which had been the show's run. I was a little disappointed that we didn't see young Dokes right away, but I guess they're going to save him for later in the season.
We can only hope.
I feel like we're going to be cheated if we don't get young Dokes. Because again, Dokes was the only character I liked because he had no time for Dexter, a character I loathed right from the start. Mm-hmm. And then he got replaced with my favorite character in the show. So, Always happy with that part of the show. It's like, Joey's my favorite character. Dokes was previously my favorite character. And it's like, yeah, it was just, I'm really excited. Obviously, we're never going to see a young Joey Quinn. That wouldn't make sense based on the timeline. You know, it's like, there's no reason for them to run into him as like a patrol officer or something like that. But there's a good chance we're going to see young Dokes, right? Because I remember he and Maria had a history together, like they knew each other for a long time. So there's a good chance we'll see young Dokes and have him immediately dislike Dexter, and I will be very entertained by that.
Yes.
I really hope that happens sometime in this season. They find some way to justify it, even if it didn't fit with the original timeline. But yeah, and another thing with Dexter is, how do I put this? How again, selfish, arrogant, and self-centered he is, because it is not at all hard to find evidence that this guy murdered that woman by firing a bullet through the wall. The guy kept the gun he did it with. Like, he killed a woman and then he just kept the gun on him all the time. So it's like, at any point the cops could have just arrested him and tested the gun and they would have convicted him. So it's like, one of the things I think about with Dexter is, is this someone Dexter had to kill, or could Dexter have just like anonymously tipped off the cops and put this guy in jail? And I think this is the nurse, and I would like us to rate all of his victims like this. Could Dexter have anonymously tipped off the cops and easily jailed this person, or should he probably have killed them? So the nurse, I don't think there was an easy way to tip off the cops to prove what she was doing.
No.
They go out of their way to say that this is not detectable in an autopsy. Yes. So you would have to catch her with the potassium and somehow prove she had been doing it to a whole bunch of people, which would, I think, be difficult to do. So I get. But his second murder, and I'll start making a list, I think he could have just called the cops on that guy. Like, I think he could have just called the cops on that guy, and this would have been sorted out perfectly normally, and Angel would have gotten his closure, which Angel doesn't get because that guy and the guy and Angel's cousin don't get because the guy just mysteriously disappears. So that would be my thing. A lot of people not getting closure because of Dexter's actions.
And I think, let me think about that. Yeah, if he had
come up with it and given it to
like sent it in the tip anonymously.
Well, not even that, just looked. Once he had the idea that maybe there was a bullet in the house.
Not in the house. He has the guy shoot at him, right? Shoot a warning shot in him, and then he gets the bullet out of the tree that the bullet hit. That's his great idea. How he knew that the guy would be comfortable firing a gun in public. Hey, here's an idea, Dexter. The man just fired a gun in a public place. Call the cops on him, and then when the cops arrest him and test the gun, they're going to find out that the bullet matched. You just got him to commit a crime you could charge him with.
Yeah, and so, but that's not going to
fire a gun in Miami.
No, and what I would say, you're right, Dexter should have done something like that. That would have made more sense. But he goes to Harry and explains all of this because it's like too late after he's dug the
bullet out of the wall.
Bullet out and everything else. He can't, like, he's missed his chance to do it right.
No, he hasn't. Because again, he could just call the cops and say, this famous criminal shot a gun outside of a bar, and then the cops can get a warrant to go and, can go ask some questions. And someone said, oh yeah, he shot a gun outside the bar. And then the cops could go and take the gun and do tests on it. It's not like that was the only bullet that could be fired out of that gun. No, like there was plenty of
what
time.
I'm saying though, that still
means here's the problem. Once Dexter took the gun, the bullet out of the tree.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a bit problematic. Well, it is 1991, so maybe not so problematic.
It's not problematic.
No, in 1991.
Yeah.
So he could have said, look, this guy, I did this, but he's already showing these signs of secretiveness.
Oh yeah.
And not talking to anybody. I mean, he
absolutely.
only talks to Harry, and Harry basically okays the deal. Harry doesn't come up with an alternative.
No.
Right? Harry okays it and says, okay, Dexter, rather than coming up with this alternative, which is bringing the bullet in.
Oh, not even, but again, you don't even have to bring the bullet in. All you have to do is say, this man fired an illegal pistol within Miami city limits. You don't even have to admit that you were the guy he shot at. It's like, hi, this is an anonymous tip. I saw a famous criminal wielding an illegal gun and firing it outside of this bar at this time. Go get the gun from him. And then when they get the gun, they'll test it against the ballistics and oh, look, he did it.
Yeah.
Like, this is a crime that was easily solvable. And that's the criteria I want. Was this crime easily solvable and Dexter just killed him because he wanted to kill somebody? And the answer in this case is yes. The crime was easily solvable. Dexter just wanted to kill someone.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you with the result. Yeah, it is. I don't think I'm just trying to think that this is all showing signs of what's going to become the hallmark of Dexter.
Oh yeah, exactly.
The original,
And this is what I want to. This is, like I said, this is the criteria I want to judge all of Dexter's victims from all of these seasons against. Could they have easily solved this crime? Or did Dexter have to kill this person?
Yes. And the thing is, right?
This is part of his personality already that he, as I said, he got so much support.
Yeah.
And so much positive feedback. And I suspect, that the mother as well, like the adoptive mother.
Yeah.
Also, basically they all would have massively supported him and been, you're just so great in the rest because of what happened to him.
Yep.
Because she would have to know some of it, and they would have had to have sworn never to tell Dexter.
I'm going to be interested to find out how much the mother knows as we go through the flashbacks.
Yeah, no.
We never found out anything about Harry's wife, Deb's mom. Like, that, she never comes up in the original series. She's not a major, because she is, of course, long dead by the time the series starts. But it's like, I don't remember her basically being talked about at all.
No. And so it's going to be interesting to see, because we've seen her once now.
Yep. And great job casting someone who looks like Deb. Yeah, Deb looks just like her mother. It's a nice touch. And they found an actress who looks just like Jennifer Carpenter, who also looks just like the woman playing young Deb.
Yeah,
just crushing it with the female members of that family.
Yeah, so it is. No, I'm looking at it and going, I
had a better time than I thought I would.
Yes, that's it. I was dreading watching it and hoping, and then I'm looking. Oh, okay, so they're setting this up. It's a better written
show than the original. It's a better produced show than the original, and they might be willing to do something interesting.
And not only that, but they are feeding into the person that Michael C. Hall becomes.
Who's going to become, absolutely.
Yeah. And as you say, like little bits and pieces
by making, and this is the genius of the original show, and it's well handled here, by making his first victim a woman he has to kill to save his father.
Yes.
Right? It really does essentially immediately take the floodgates off, because it suggests that I can only be doing moral acts by doing this. By making like the rare thing where he's concretely saving a life the first time he does this, it means he never has to do like a moral questioning of the stuff he's doing and why he's doing it.
Exactly.
Like, it's a cheat code to get away with being a serial killer, when the first time you knew that someone was literally trying to murder your dad, and the only thing that kept your dad alive was you murdering this woman.
Yep.
Like, it's well done. It is really well done. I was very impressed with that part of it. I mean, it was a good storyline the first time, and the way they handle it here is just, I think, fantastic. Very impressed. All right, so we're going to be back next week with more of this.
Yes, 3 more episodes.
It is insane. You were going to hear us talk about this over a month and a half. I think we're going to watch this whole show in a week.
Yes.
I think we're just going to power through this.
Yeah, I think we're going to do another episode.
We're probably going to be
Saturday
talking about this
Sunday.
tomorrow, is what she's saying.
Yeah.
No, Sunday I got recording all day. We got if you want to talk more, we got to do it tomorrow.
Oh,
so we're probably going to be doing this tomorrow.
Okay, we're doing this tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
Talking more about Dexter. Like I said, the characters are doing great jobs. The writing is very interesting. Yeah, it's got a lot of, the stupid Dexter preposterousness that the original show was known for. But they are taking it more seriously than I felt that the original show ever did. And it's weird. It's one of those situations where in a legacy sequel or prequel, in this case, someone comes back and they were fans of the original. So they treat it with more reverence than maybe the show actually deserved. Jason's getting a prestige TV show.
Oh, God.
This is a true fact. So, I mean, it doesn't come up much, but I'm the world's biggest fan of the Friday the 13th movies. And you might say, really? And it's like, yeah, I can say without fear of hyperbole that I have watched the Friday the 13th movies more than anyone else on Earth. I think that's fair to say, right? Because when I started writing books, I need noise on in the background. And so when I started writing books as a teenager, and then I moved into screenplays, I would turn on Friday the 13th movies, which I had already seen, dozens of times, and leave them on in the background. And I have continued that for the next 30 years. So if I am working, there's a Friday the 13th movie on the TV. So I've seen the Friday the 13th movies more than anyone else alive, thousands of times each. And again, not hyperbole, not exaggeration, thousands of times each. And consequently, but way back in the very original, I remember having a discussion with you that it's like about watching a film I didn't enjoy very much, Forrest Gump, right? And I remember joking with you when we originally watched Forrest Gump that you could just do that movie, except it's about Jason's mother. About what a rough life it was for Jason's mother dealing with this disabled son, and then this tragic thing happens. And we joked about it. And now that's a TV show. A joke we made 30 years ago watching the movie Forrest Gump is now a real TV show. It's called Crystal Lake. And by the time people are hearing this, it's probably airing.
Well, all I can say is that I've always used to joke that we were always way ahead of the time.
I know.
I always say about I was born 50 years too, whatever,
early, yeah.
Soon, like my mother would say. But I used to remember even Redmond, right? Yeah. Coming up with things. Ridiculous, and then they would show up 6 months or a year later.
8 months later. I know. It's amazing.
And now it seems that our thought waves are just, going.
It's so
crazy.
Weird. But what I was identifying was a trend that would actually happen, which is people who love a thing would go and try to make a prestige, serious version of that thing. And now it's Friday the 13th of all things.
Yeah. And then this'll be God, they do a Forrest Gump, his life as a child.
With Jason, that's what they're doing. Like that's the show. He's gonna drown early in the first season, and she's gonna start going nuts. Because remember, she set fires and she poisoned wells to close down the camp before she ever started full on killing people. I'm sure because this is essentially they're just doing Bates Motel with Jason. I mean, that's just what they're doing. I'm sure she's gonna kill more people, than she did in the original movie. But I will be interested to see what happens. Because in the original, she only kills Barry and Claudette, right? Just these two random counselors. That's who we see in the opening, and then they shut everything down. But yeah, she started out by setting fires and trying to damage the well, and she murdered the camp she murdered the camp counselors, and then they tried to reopen, and she kept sabotaging it. Now, I'm sure on the show there will be other dead bodies attached to the future sabotage, but she might only kill those two people the first year. I can't predict it. It's a prestige TV show about Jason's mom.
Okay.
We're living in a strange time is, I think, the best way to look at it. We got a Dexter, we got a Prestige show about Dexter's youth. We got a Prestige show about Jason's mom. Why not, man? Oh, and while we do know nothing about New Blood, during his trip to the ambulance, we see that a teenager shot Dexter with a rifle. We don't know who that teenager is. We don't know why he shot Dexter with a rifle, but that is how he ended up at the hospital at the beginning of Dexter Original Sin. So there you go.
Yes. So,
but there is that Dexter's son? I mean, it can't be, because that would mean Dexter New Blood would have to be set 15 years after the end of Dexter, and I don't think it was. So I guess we'll see, right?
We'll see.
All right.
We're not gonna don't
We're
ask
not gonna make any
questions.
predictions. We're making no
because-
predictions. It would be funny if Dexter's son shot him.
Yes.
But that's probably not what happened. We're gonna see. We are a good 6 months of us watching television away from finding out. For now, though, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if there's any profiling related fiction you'd like us to check out after we're done with Dexter, with our year of Dexter, drop us a line at profilingcriminalminds@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. If you were listening on an app, podcatcher, or watching on YouTube, hi, thanks. Rate, review, and subscribe. That's how people find out about the show. We are going to be back here next week with more Dexter Original Sin, episodes 4 through 6. We don't check the titles because, that's just something we add in later.
Yep.
We don't really care what the titles of the episodes are. It's not like they're hilarious. I mean, maybe, actually, I was about to say, it's not like they're hilarious puns, but now that I say that out loud, they probably are hilarious puns, right?
Yeah.
They're probably doing hilarious puns, just given the show's vibe.
Yeah. No, because this show is so much it is just, I hate to say pleasanter.
It is more pleasant than Dexter ever
is.
was. It is.
It's you have these people and they're interacting with one another, and Dexter is still not this arrogant
dirtbag yet.
Yeah. You can see signs how that's going to happen.
Prick. Just a smug prick who thinks he's better than everybody.
Yeah.
Who luxuriates in the fact that he has a secret over everyone else. Ooh, none of these people know my secret, and I love that I have something. Sorry, I hate Dexter. And so it's just so weird watching a Dexter that I like as a person.
Yeah, because he hasn't become what he will become. And that's what shocks you. Yeah. So he's actually almost a nice kid who has the potential to become just this, almost a kind of reasonable annoying person.
Yeah. If only he hadn't, if only he had better parenting. All right. Yes. So that's that. We'll see you back here next week for more Dexter Original Sin. But until then, I'll say that's right. Au revoir.
And have a good week.